Here at soaps.com, we publish a lot of articles each week, more than I can probably count. And sometimes I'll take full responsibility, forget that there are passionate, hardworking people on the other side of the screen doing everything they can to deliver the best show possible. When I enjoy the stories being told and the way they're presented, it's a real pleasure to share that appreciation. But when I'm not as impressed, well, I sometimes forget the old saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. I could be direct, sharp, or as Days of Our Lives Susan Banks might say, a bit much. I like to think I'm not completely off base, but that doesn't excuse me when my tone has been harsher than necessary. Maybe I've grown a bit numb to the critical responses I get after nearly every article I post. Still, that's not a valid reason. It's just a justification. I know I can do better. I can offer thoughtful, constructive feedback. And I can certainly express concerns without sounding overly disappointed. Which brings us to The Young and the Restless, a show I've been somewhat critical of lately. I've had questions about the recurring CEO changes, some of the newer character arcs, and which couples are supposed to be the next big thing. And I'm clearly not alone. In a recent poll I posted, nearly 70% of respondents gave the show a D or F, but even if there's room for growth, that doesn't mean my critiques have always come across the right way. Highlighting areas for improvement is one thing, delivering that feedback respectfully is another. Focusing too much on what's not working also causes me to overlook the many things that are, and that still make Young and Restless such compelling television. The rich history, the incredible cast, the plot developments that make us do a double take and rewind just to be sure we saw what we thought we saw. Do I want more from Young and Restless? Absolutely, but I also want to give credit where it's due. Michelle Stafford brings such energy to every scene as Phyllis. Jason Thompson portrays his character with such skill, making even the more difficult moments feel authentic. Crystal Khalil masterfully captures Lily's strength and vulnerability. Michael Graziadei makes Daniel feel like a real person, not just a character. And let's not forget the icons, Eric Braeden, Melody Thomas Scott, and Peter Bergman. Their presence continues to ground the show in excellence. And yes, the storytelling continues to keep us tuning in. Look at Nikki and Victor, the way she understands him so well, even when she's rolling her eyes at his quirks. That's true partnership. Or Nick and Sharon, always circling back to one another, reminding us of their history while leaving us guessing about their future. And this being LGBT+ Pride Month, we have to acknowledge Mariah and Tessa, one of daytime's standout couples, a reminder of how representation matters. I've been frustrated at times, and when I'm frustrated, I can sound a little harsh. But in truth, I can't begin to imagine what it takes to keep a long-running show running strong. Maybe part of my criticism stems from having once dreamed of writing for soaps and not getting the chance. But that's life. It's not a reason to be unkind to a show I've loved since childhood, and one I'd truly miss if it disappeared. Moving forward, I'll try to keep that in mind. Young and Restless isn't my family, but it has been there for me in ways that count, and it deserves thoughtful feedback, not just pointed complaints. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Let's get into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for the week of June 16, 2025. Fans can expect some emotional moments ahead. Tessa Porter reaches a breaking point with Mariah Copeland over a lack of openness. Nate Hastings strongly disagrees with Holden Novak's actions. Plus, the mystery surrounding Aristotle Dumas will finally come to light. Let's begin with TRIH. Their relationship is facing a real challenge. Mariah made a mistake and has been reluctant to talk about it. She did share that she had too much to drink following a tough time related to the Ian Ward situation. Mariah also mentioned meeting an older gentleman but kept the details vague, saying only that it wouldn't be fair to share everything right now. Tessa has been doing her best to stay patient and understanding. However, Mariah has stopped returning her calls, and by the end of the week, Tessa's patience begins to wear thin. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson opens up and shares a personal admission, most likely to Adam Newman. Chelsea had been confident she could work something out with Victor Newman, but her plan didn't go as expected. With Billy already in the south of France, attending Aristotle Dumas' elegant gathering, Chelsea decides it's time to talk honestly with Adam. Next week on The Young, the Restless, Holden Novak makes an ill-advised approach to Nate Hastings. Holden tries to steer the conversation toward Audra Charles, but Nate remains composed and professional, likely due to his calm demeanor from years in the medical field, and tactfully redirects the conversation. Viewers can also expect Victor to reveal key details about Dumas' background. Meanwhile, there's a bit of polite tension between Sally Spectra and Sharon Newman as they cross paths. Phyllis Summers settles into the ambience of Dumas' estate, but Lily Winters has an uneasy feeling about how the evening may unfold. Billy is working on executing a carefully considered plan, but by week's end, Jack Abbott begins to question whether meeting the host was the right move. Eventually, Dumas will step forward and share more about his identity. There's also a hint that Kyle Abbott comes to realize he may have misread the situation. In addition, Amanda Sinclair's deeper connection to Dumas is unveiled. Back in Genoa City, Danny Romalotti offers heartfelt guidance to his son, Daniel Romalotti Jr. Which storyline are you most excited to see during the week of June 16, 2025? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to tune in to The Young and the Restless on CBS or stream on Paramount Plus to keep up with all the latest developments. In upcoming episodes, Victoria Newman and Cole Howard spend some important time together discussing their future. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra remains concerned that she and her partner, Billy Abbott, might get caught in the middle of Aristotle Dumas' unexpected moves involving Victor Newman. Elsewhere, Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson begin strategizing a bold plan at Newman Media. In their conversation at Society, they explore ways to manage sensitive news stories involving Billy Abbott, stories that Victor had ordered to be published. Adam anticipates Victor's strong reaction if the reports are delayed, but with Chelsea's support, he ultimately decides to go with a more thoughtful approach. Recent episodes have shown Cole facing a serious health issue, prompting Victor Newman to ensure Cole is admitted to a top hospital in Chicago for treatment of pneumonia. As Cole's recovery remains uncertain, he and Victoria talk honestly about their future. Spoilers suggest they may make a meaningful commitment and possibly take the next step in their relationship. This week's I and Our episodes promise plenty of drama and intrigue as the guests gather for Dumas' elegant celebration. Don't miss the surprises in store. The Young and the Restless will be filled with mystery and suspense. This week's video previews Genoa City's elite arriving for Dumas' party. While many guests are excited for the event, others are cautious. Here's a look at what's ahead for June 16 to 20. It's the moment Y and R fans have been waiting for. The big Aristotle Dumas reveal as his party gets underway. This week, guests begin arriving at his French chateau. The Newmans settle in for the train ride to Nice. However, the trip proves to be anything but ordinary. Billy and Sally are also passengers and end up in the same railcar as the Newmans. Instead of keeping things calm, Billy can't help but provoke his business rival. "Victor, are you ready to head into the lair of Aristotle Dumas?" he asks with a smirk. Meanwhile, Jack, Diane, Kyle, and Audra arrive at the mansion. The group waits outside in the garden area for Dumas when they're greeted by his assistant, Carter. Jack remarks that the garden looks like a maze. Carter confirms it is, explaining that it's part of their challenge, which begins now. The group is left feeling puzzled. Later, Lily is in her room when she gets a strange feeling. This meeting with Dumas could impact her family's company. Although Dumas claims he has Winter's best interest in mind, Lily has her doubts. "I have this weird feeling like things aren't going to go the way that we think," she says. Lily might be right because later, the mysterious Dumas is seen observing everyone on surveillance cameras. With the guests now at his chateau, the real event is about to unfold. What does Dumas have planned for everyone, and what secrets will come to light? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Nate Hastings reluctantly agreed to stay behind as Audra Charles goes to Aristotle Dumas' home in Nice. Audra has a +1 invitation, and she has invited Kyle Abbott to accompany her. Audra has crafted an elaborate plan that she wants Kyle to believe they are using. Could Nate finally grow suspicious? Audra has been secretive about her arrangement with Victor Newman. Nate knows how many times Victor has treated Audra unfairly in the past. Nate didn't want Audra to enter into this deal with Victor and has reminded her of past difficulties. Audra sees this opportunity as a way to improve her situation. She is willing to do what Victor requests to achieve success one way or another. Nate is beginning to wonder what Victor really expects from Audra. Will Nate figure out that Audra's plan involves Kyle once again? Nate had offered to go on this trip to keep an eye on Audra, but she made up an excuse to leave him behind and went off with Kyle as her +1 for the party at Dumas' house. Of course, Nate doesn't know that detail yet. However, that doesn't mean he won't find out. What if Nate gets his brother settled at work and decides to take a plane to Nice? Nate could surprise Audra by showing up to support her, only to discover her true intentions. Could Nate confront Audra for being less than honest with him and involving Kyle? How will Nate react when he finds out Audra brought Kyle along? Nate senses something is going on and may decide to investigate further. Audra has always gone to great lengths to follow Victor's instructions and seems ready to do so again. Nate might decide to see just how far Victor is pushing this plan. What happens if Nate travels to Nice and discovers Audra is using Kyle to achieve her goals once again? After all, Victor wants Audra to influence Kyle in a way that affects Claire Newman's feelings. Will Audra's actions also impact Nate? Has Audra taken things too far this time? This coming week, The Young and the Restless will take a dramatic turn far away from Genoa City. The weekly preview for June 16 to 20 reveals that several major players will travel to France to attend the mysterious and legendary Aristotle Dumas' extravagant and exclusive event. Although the gathering is invite-only, viewers will soon witness the event become increasingly complex. Everyone attending will first enjoy a luxurious train ride to the venue, but it won't be long before the guests notice unusual signs suggesting something is amiss. There is a complex maze set up for some of the guests, and the gathering starts to feel more like a challenging game or test. Meanwhile, an unidentified man is seen observing the event through a discreet camera feed, monitoring quietly from the shadows. This suggests that someone unknown is watching the attendees closely. The anonymity of the gathering might lead the participants to believe they are attending a casual event, but there is a subtle sense that it is more layered than it first appears. The upcoming week's episodes will gradually reveal Aristotle Dumas' true intentions, without giving away all the details just yet. Several characters will board a train arranged by Dumas, marking the beginning of the next phase of the mysterious gathering. During the journey, Sharon and Nick will be together on the train. Alongside Sharon and Nick, the group will include Nikki, Victor, Sally, and Billy. Tension will build even before the train departs, especially after Billy comments to Victor about entering Dumas' domain. Victor responds with confidence, maybe even a bit of bravado, about what lies ahead once their journey begins. However, not everyone will feel at ease. Meanwhile, another group will arrive at what appears to be a challenging maze. Jack, Diane, Kyle, and Audra will approach the maze cautiously and will be greeted by Dumas' assistant Carter. Carter explains that this is a challenge they must undertake. Though his explanation is vague and offers little reassurance, the group agrees to participate. As they navigate the winding paths of the maze, feelings of uncertainty will rise. Whether the challenge is symbolic, psychological, or something else remains unclear. It will be evident that Dumas has carefully designed an elaborate experience with many layers. While the guests handle the train journey and maze, another aspect of the story will unfold behind closed doors. A mysterious man, played by Days of Our Lives alum Billy Flynn, monitors the guests through a hidden camera feed. This footage confirms that the gathering is being watched in real time, likely by Dumas himself. If Flynn is indeed portraying Cain Ashby, this revelation could change existing relationships. The man's full identity behind the screen won't be revealed this week, but the storyline raises intriguing questions about who controls the event in The Young and the Restless. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless also hint that Amanda Sinclair is preparing to reveal an important development in her personal life. It appears Amanda will share news of a meaningful relationship with Cain Ashby following the revelation of Aristotle Dumas' true identity. During the week of June 16 to 20, there will be increasing anticipation around uncovering who Dumas really is. Dumas will entertain his guests with various games, creating a mix of curiosity and challenge among those gathered in Nice. Fortunately, a significant reward awaits those who successfully complete Dumas tests. Eventually, Dumas will emerge from the shadows and reveal the person behind the mystery. Billy Flynn plays Aristotle Dumas, but that name is a carefully constructed alias for his broader plans. The guests will be surprised to learn that Dumas is someone familiar. The show has dropped numerous hints, both on-screen and behind the scenes, indicating that Dumas is a new version of Cain Ashby. Notably, Flynn's voice is heard in the June 16 episode, as Dumas watches the camera feed of his guests. When Dumas says, "It won't be long now," his accent differs from Cain's usual Australian tone. Along with making Cain appear younger, the show seems to be planning a fresh take on the character's background. Cain is set for a significant transformation, based on the clues released so far. This won't be the only surprise at the gathering, though. Amanda serves as Dumas' attorney, but their connection likely runs deeper. Amanda's true relationship with Cain will be revealed following the unveiling of Dumas' identity on June 20. This certainly suggests that Amanda is much more than just Cain's legal advisor, and they've likely shared a close connection for some time. She also has a past link to his father. Amanda could have easily met Cain through her professional dealings with Colin Atkinson. Everything points to Amanda having a significant personal connection with Cain, which should add an interesting twist to this event. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Lily Winters and the other attendees will receive updates on some surprising news, so be sure to catch all the developments. Why Mariah needs to be honest before it's too late. Mariah has always been a strong, resilient character on The Young and the Restless, but lately she's been struggling. The vibrant, honest woman we've come to admire is now facing challenges that are weighing heavily on her. It's not just regret affecting her, it's the impact of holding back important truths. From creating distance with Tessa to growing apart from her closest friends, Maria's secret is causing strain in her relationships. Whatever she's keeping inside, it's time she shares it before things become harder to mend. Tension is everywhere. Her loved ones sense something is off, but can't quite pinpoint what. And Mariah? She's visibly troubled, anxious, and emotionally drained. How long can she keep this up? The truth may be difficult, but the silence is holding her back. Secrets on soaps are like ticking clocks. They always come to light eventually. But before this one becomes overwhelming, Mariah still has the chance to take charge of her story. Being honest might just be the key to healing, not only for her, but also for the people who care about her most. The discomfort of opening up might be tough, but it's a one-time challenge. the weight of silence lasts much longer. Imagine the relief, the heartfelt moments, and the positive changes that could follow. Mariah has been through many life challenges, heartbreak, motherhood, and emerged stronger each time. If anyone can face a difficult truth and grow from it, it's her. But she has to take the first step. Mariah doesn't just need to be honest for her family or loved ones. She needs to do it for herself. Because this version of her, filled with anxiety and distance, isn't the true Mariah. And we're ready to see her shine again, truth and all. Facing consequences can be tough. In fact, it can change lives. But hiding the truth is often even harder, and Mariah is learning this lesson more than anyone right now. It's going to be an emotional journey. For the Monday, June 16 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers reveal the Newman jet is in the air, heading toward the intriguing Aristotle Dumas. The Newman jet is fueled up and carrying some very important passengers. Among them are Sharon, Victor, and Nikki, who all have very different feelings about what lies ahead. With hours to pass, it would be fascinating to overhear their conversations. Teasers hint that Victor has some news about their enigmatic friend. What insights does he have on Aristotle Dumas? Has he known more than he shared? Stay tuned for the big reveal the mustache is about to deliver. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, June 17, reveal that Phyllis Summers will catch Aristotle Dumas' attention while Sally Spectra senses caution, and Billy Abbott takes a confident step forward. Although Sally agreed to attend Dumas' event with Billy, she remains concerned about possible complications. Sally wants to avoid unnecessary trouble, but it seems Billy is ready to take a bold approach that might go against some earlier promises. Y and R spoilers say Billy has an important move planned, which could upset Sally. She may see this as a warning sign, but Billy will try to smooth things over as he usually does. However, Sally is expected to firmly address her concerns with Billy during this trip. Their relationship will be tested, so Dumas' party will certainly bring some challenges. As for Victor Newman, he will do his best to uplift Nikki when she faces an uncomfortable situation. Nikki might not be thrilled about sharing the event with Nick Newman's former partners, since Sharon is accompanying Nick, and Phyllis is also attending. Although Nikki has managed to keep things cordial with Sharon, she may find it a bit more challenging with Phyllis. You can expect Phyllis to arrive with a lot of energy and make quite an impression. The train ride will have some lively moments as Phyllis boards and confidently makes her presence known. Dumas will be monitoring the surveillance feed of his guests and will certainly take notice of Phyllis, who is sure to stand out when it's time for Dumas' upcoming maze challenge. Daniel Romalotti Jr. hinted that this trip could be a significant turning point for Phyllis, so we may see that unfold soon. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Phyllis will be full of confidence as she awaits updates on Dumas' true identity and other interesting developments from the event. The Young and the Restless spoilers also hint that a major surprise involving a key character may be on the horizon. Is Damian Kane about to make an unexpected exit? In the June 13 episode, Amy Lewis expressed some concern about Aristotle Dumas' party and the mysterious plans of the host. Damian reassured his mom, but Amy had an uneasy feeling later on. After hugging Damian goodbye before his trip, Amy shared with Nate Hastings that the embrace gave her an odd sensation she couldn't quite explain. It left Amy wondering what it might mean, and it certainly feels like a hint about some upcoming challenges. Although Nate tried to ease her worries, Amy's feeling could be an important clue about what's ahead. Since Joshua Morrow mentioned a mystery event coming up, it's possible Damian's storyline might be pivotal to the drama. Damian is still a relatively new character, but it seems the show may be building his role towards something impactful. It's possible that Damian's storyline will come to a significant conclusion and spark some dramatic developments. Amy doesn't realize it yet, but this farewell moment may be especially meaningful. She might later reflect on that strange feeling and see it as a meaningful signal. Amy has been feeling regret over time lost with Damian, and this could lead to even deeper emotional moments if Damian's future is uncertain. There has been speculation about both Damian and Amy's storylines coming to a close, which fits with Amy's uneasy feelings. If Damian's character does leave, it could open the door for Amy's character to explore new directions as well. Regardless, Amy's unsettling impression is likely to be meaningful. With a mystery quickly approaching, it will be interesting to see how Damian's role evolves. Do you think Damian's storyline might take an unexpected turn during the events at Dumas' party? Will you miss him if he's set to leave the show? The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Amy will receive some significant news soon, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, Claire Newman could be preparing for a surprise trip to France. Will Claire catch Kyle Abbott and Audra Charles in a surprising situation in Nice? With some help from Victor Newman, Audra secured an invitation to Aristotle Dumas' chateau party. From there, Audra invited Kyle as her +1, setting the stage for some tension. Although Audra is promoting a big perfume competition, it seems like a strategy to spend time with Kyle and advance her plans. Claire's current focus is Cole Howard, who is stable after being transferred to a specialized hospital in Chicago for pneumonia treatment. If Cole continues to improve, Claire might decide to join Kyle in France. I and our fans know Claire doesn't have an invitation yet, but Victor could arrange one for her, just as he did for Audra. Alternatively, someone like Holden Novak might encourage Claire to go with him, making them a party-crashing duo. Either way, Claire may soon be ready to celebrate hopeful news if Cole makes a full recovery. It's easy to imagine Claire wanting to surprise Kyle and spend some quality time together in Nice. Holden might also warn Claire about Audra's intentions, which could add to her concerns about the party. That could be another reason for Claire to attend the festivities. If all this leads to Claire's arrival at Dumas' summer residence, it could create some unexpected challenges for Kyle. Will Audra have influenced Kyle by then? Could Kyle find himself in an awkward situation with Audra, just in time for Claire to arrive, notice, and become upset? Both Audra and Kyle might face consequences from the complicated situation they're involved in, so we'll see if this develops into a serious relationship conflict or not. Regardless, Claire could be very surprised if she finds Kyle and Audra behaving in a way that feels too familiar. Will Claire catch Kyle and Audra spending time together or sharing a close moment? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Kyle and Claire have a challenging romantic path ahead, so stay tuned for updates on all the drama. What's happening back in Genoa City with the people who didn't receive an invite to the Dumas reveal party? The Young and the Restless spoilers for June 16 to 20 focus on the big event that Dumas is hosting in Nice, France. It's a send-off for many of Genoa City's key players and others who managed to get invited through their connections. Yes, that includes you, Phyllis, and Audra. Genoa City has been buzzing about Dumas for quite some time, and next week, the man himself is set to make his grand appearance. He's organized a major gathering in the south of France where the Newmans, Abbotts, Winters, and others will come together in hopes of finally learning who Dumas really is. Victor, naturally, claims he knows the truth and is confident it's not Tucker McCall. What details will Victor share? Expect some important revelations. Meanwhile, Billy is putting his plan into action. What's his plan exactly? To shake things up for Victor and be ready to leave if things don't go as expected. In other news, Phyllis is settling in comfortably. This is one of her strengths. Dumas might find it hard to get her to leave. As for Jack and Diane, they're having second thoughts about meeting the mysterious Dumas. Their son, Kyle, might face some challenges on his business trip, possibly related to Audra's plans. Will Kyle still have his relationship with Claire to return to after this trip? By the end of the week, Aristotle Dumas will finally reveal himself to his guests. Will Billy Flynn be portraying Dumas? The teasers hint at Amanda's true connection to him being uncovered. Is she more than just his attorney? What kind of relationship do they share? Back in Genoa City, Tessa is growing frustrated with Mariah. Understandably so, Mariah has started opening up to her wife, but she's holding back something important. It's clear how challenging that must be for Tessa. Meanwhile, Nate has a talk with Holden. At the moment, Holden is hesitant about joining Winters because he feels Damian has prioritized his new family. Nate might help clear things up by the time Damian returns from France. Could Holden end up working for Winters? Victor, Nikki, and Nick are attending the Dumas party, while Victoria and Claire are looking after Cole. And don't be surprised if Adam and Chelsea mix business with pleasure during this time.